Alright, picture this. You're at the grocery store doing your weekly shopping, navigating the familiar aisles. You're craving that perfect crunch, that tangy zest, that satisfying snap from a jar of Bicks Pickles. It's a craving that only Bicks can satisfy. But lately, as you scan the shelves, you notice those familiar green and yellow jars are conspicuously missing. They're gone, vanished, nowhere to be found. What gives? What's going on here? Why are Bicks Pickles suddenly vanishing from Canadian stores? Is this a temporary shortage, a supply chain issue, or something more sinister? Let's dig in, put on our detective hats, because the answer is juicier, more complex, and more globally connected than you might think. So, Bicks Pickles have been a Canadian staple for decades, a beloved brand woven into the fabric of our culinary culture. Seriously, I grew up with these things on every barbecue table, nestled amongst the burgers and hot dogs, and in every fridge, ready for a late-night snack. But here's the twist, the first layer of this pickle puzzle. Bicks isn't even made in Canada anymore. It's a Canadian brand, yes, but the production has moved. The last Canadian Bicks factory, a symbol of local production, shut down back in 2011, marking the end of an era. And since then, the pickles, those crunchy delights, have been made south of the border in the US and shipped north to satisfy our Canadian cravings. Now you might be wondering, okay, so what's changed? They've been made in the US for years, so why the sudden disappearance? Well, it all comes down to tariffs. Those often invisible barriers that can dramatically impact the flow of goods across borders. Recently, in a move with international implications, the Canadian government slapped a 35% tariff, a significant financial hurdle, on certain US-made goods, including, you guessed it, those beloved Bicks Pickles. The cost of importing just went up dramatically. Why? What's the reason behind this seemingly pickle-related policy? It's a response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine, a geopolitical crisis with far-reaching consequences, trying to put pressure on countries that aren't playing by the rules, using trade as a tool to influence international behavior. But here's the pickle, the economic reality. That means importing Bicks is suddenly a whole lot pricier, significantly more expensive for Canadian retailers. And you know how grocery stores work. They've got tight margins, operating on razor-thin profits, where every penny counts. With those extra costs, that added financial burden, many stores simply said, nope, not worth it, the profit margin is too small to justify the expense, and just stopped stocking Bicks altogether, removing them from their shelves and their inventory. That's why your favorite pickles are mysteriously absent, seemingly vanished from the aisle. It's a complex chain of events leading to an empty space on the shelf. It doesn't stop there. This whole tariff thing, this international trade dispute, isn't just about pickles, it's much broader than that. It's affecting all sorts of products, a wide range of goods that we used to grab without thinking, taking their availability for granted. So, if you start seeing empty spaces, noticeable gaps where your go-to American snacks used to be, well, now you know why. The mystery is solved. But don't despair, don't lose hope. Canadian-made pickles, local brands are stepping up to fill the void. Brands like Strubs, a Canadian classic, and White's are filling those gaps, offering delicious alternatives, and honestly, they're pretty great. They might even surprise you. Maybe this is a chance to find a new favorite, a hidden gem, or support more local producers, investing in our own economy and culinary landscape. Here's the big takeaway, the key message. Every time you see an empty spot where Bicks used to be, it's not just about missing pickles, it's about something much larger. It's a reminder that what happens in global politics, international trade agreements, and geopolitical events can hit home, in the most unexpected places like your fridge, affecting your everyday choices and culinary experiences. So next time you're cruising the grocery aisles, navigating the shelves, you'll know the real story, the complex narrative behind the pickle drama. Stay curious, keep exploring, and keep crunching. Embrace the unexpected twists and turns of the grocery aisle.